Guys, it's been a while since we've done one of these, so let's get you guys hooked up with a brand new settings video updated here for the new Warzone map, Warzone 3, whatever you want to call it. Let's hop in. All right, guys, starting off with our display and quality settings here. I play on 1440p on this Asus OLED 27-inch display, 240 hertz, 1440p. It is fantastic so far. NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency On Plus Boost. Unlimited frames, no HDR, because I feel like on this OLED it makes it way too dark. Moving over to quality really quickly. Here's where you have a lot of different answers as far as what people think is best as far as video quality goes, especially going into the new Warzone map. For my first day of playing so far, it seems like the amount of frames that you're getting in comparison to the previous map on Warzone 2, Al-Mazrah, it seems like Urzikstan is way more optimized. I was averaging, I would say, probably like 40 to 50 more frames in most of the areas, especially in those densely populated areas as far as like the cities are concerned on the new one. But seems like every time I was peeking over at FPS, it was pretty steadily plus 200, whereas Mazrah kind of struggled a bit more. As far as sharpening, upscaling, I've been running Fidelity CAS for a long time. I keep it at 90. Some people run it a little bit higher or lower. Mess with the setting, see what you like the best. Now, NVIDIA added some of these new settings here as far as frame generation and variable rate shading. And while they might show an increase to your frame rate, I think I've seen and tested as well that it actually ends up giving you a lot more input delay. VRAM scale target, I've seen some people run this at like 70 or 80. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know if it makes enough of a difference to not run on 90, so I've kept mine there. Resolution and all this, I know I have a beastly PC. I'll get some people talking some shit in the chat about this one, but I run most of my stuff on low, trying to make sure I get close to 240 frames as much as possible running on 1440p because it feels fantastic. All right, so low, off, low, very low, off, low. Only thing I do really turn on in all of these settings here is I make sure I turn on the shader cache to ultra, I believe, and screen space reflections to show some more detail on the weapon camos, because those are pretty nice to look at in my opinion. Besides that, everything off low, the usual vibe. I've been rocking on 110 FOV. You're going to see really good players play anywhere from 100 to 120. I kind of split the difference, 110. I switch this every once in a while. Sometimes I play 120, sometimes 105. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. I like running the weapon field of view on wide and field of view for ADS on affected. Also, vehicle field of view wide, so it makes everything look smaller. The vehicle's basically further away when you hop into the vehicle into that third-person POV. Motion blur and fill grain all off. One of the biggest settings that I feel like people might forget about if you're a casual player is the camera movement. You don't want all that weird shake going on. Make sure that is on least at 50%. And then inverted flashbang is something that they have added in somewhat recently, definitely since I've made our last settings video. So if you guys want to make sure you turn that a little bit nicer to look at so you don't get absolutely smoked by the white flash, it makes it dark instead. Over to audio here. Here's something that I might dabble with a little bit more, of getting like a more finely tuned audio setting in this. I know a lot of like the tournament players in Warzone have very curated audio settings, so I might dabble with that a little bit more. Other than that, nothing too crazy for me here. I just play on home theater with Dolby Atmos. I could definitely up my game when it comes to very specific audio tuning for Warzone. I might double with that soon, especially going to this map. Audio seems to be definitely a shaky one for us, once again, unfortunately. So I play at like 50% volume. I don't really have my stuff cranked too much at all. As far as interface is concerned, I just run the usual stuff over here at telemetry settings, so your FPS counter, latency, packet loss. You can turn on all the other stuff if you want. Sure, we'll turn the clock on. Why not? We'll see what time it is all the time. Sure. Over to controller settings. I've been rocking some weird stuff here. As far as button layout, straightforward, tactical flip, no vibration. You guys have known for a long time I play with basically no dead zones. People have an absolute panic attack when they see some stick drift going on. I don't really mind. I prefer to have the snappy and super sensitive reaction. We put out a short form post about this with this custom sensitivity. You can basically line these up to run. I'm basically running like a 6.5 cents compared to like our usual settings here. So the custom option lets you fine tune your sensitivity for horizontal and vertical a little bit more if you guys want to dabble with that. 1.6 is close to 6, and 1.8 is close to 7, so I'm splitting the difference there. I'm playing 1.7 on the custom settings. Again, dabble with it, see if you like it. Aim response curve type is dynamic. Honestly, it just kind of feels the best for COD and has for a long time since they put it in the game. I've been rocking a 0.9 ADS and a 125 on the high zoom. Been rocking this for a very, very long time. Sometimes I'll tab this ADS multiplier for the low zooms back towards 1. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day, if I feel snappy or not. Target aim assist on, obviously. Controller OP. Aim assist type, I've been going back and forth on this game between Black Ops and default. Overall, I feel like my sensitivity as a whole on this new game, Modern Warfare 3 platform, whatever you want to call it, has felt just like a lot more sensitive and snappy. So sometimes the little bit stronger slowdown of Black Ops feels nice to me. Again, throughout a 10-hour stream, I'm swapping this like all the time. Personal preference, default, Black Ops, whichever one you have more confidence on, use that. You'll probably play better. Gameplay, I play on auto tac sprint. I've been trying to see if this slide maintain sprints option is helping me a lot. I think it does. I don't know. It's kind of clunky sometimes, but I feel like in the new Warzone and things like that, I feel like tac sprint as a general, the whole reset of it, I feel like I just don't have tac sprint enough, so hopefully they address that moving forward. I turn off all of the auto mantling because that could be a little bit weird sometimes. Slide only for sliding for a little bit faster slide. Parachute auto deploy off. Sprinting door bash on. All this stuff is pretty usual and what we're used to from the previous Warzone iterations. Prioritize interact. Apply all plates. Backpack control with the directional buttons. I could not get used to using the sticks for that. Lean out activation. You can use melee or ADS to keep popping your head out of the windows of the car, which is a new one here, which is kind of fun to mess around with. You can kind of do some crazy stuff with that. And besides that, it's our usual controller settings that we know pretty darn well. You guys can see here when we load into the game, our frames on the new Warzone map using these settings are way more consistent than what they were on Al Mazrah. I feel like in most of the areas of the map, even the most densely populated areas with buildings and people, still averaging 200 plus at all times. You can see right there loading in, kind of holding 220 to 230 right there. New Warzone map's feeling fantastic. If you guys have any questions, pop into the streams or leave a comment to see if you have any more specifics as far as setting goes. Also, we'll be keeping our Warzone gun document updated in the days and months to come when I start messing around with some of these different builds and see if there's anything that kind of pops off weapon builds wise. But besides that, tune into the streams. We'll be playing this new map a lot. Hope this video helped you guys out if you guys are trying to figure out your settings. Again, might not be optimal for all you guys, but I've been rocking this for a while and it works well for me. So hopefully it does for you too. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the streams, guys.